welcome back to the Unofficial Fan Lounge, our little sub-series for the UFL within the feed of this podcast Uncalled For. So I'm Mike Chernevsky. I'm your host for this and all editions of the Unofficial Fan Lounge. And week 9 is in the books. We have one more week left, and we have a playoff picture that's a little more solid now. So let's quickly review this weekend's games. We'll start with the Friday night game, which was DC at Orlando. Storm 27, Defenders 19. 19. All right, so let's find our stats leaders. Here we go. So for Orlando, leading the team in passing was Jack Plummer, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jashawn Corbin leading in rushing, 16 attempts for 52 yards. And Chris Rowland, former Defender, 8 catches, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. For DC, Maritaumu is done for the year, unfortunately. So Spencer Sanders had to step in at quarterback again, 160 yards passing, and he also led the team in rushing this game, 8 attempts for 75 yards. And then Kiki Kuti, interesting name, 1 catch for 45 yards to lead DC. 10,465 in attendance in Orlando for this game. So, looking better. And then DC falls to 5-4. Orlando improves to a league best 7-2. Let's go to the next game. Birmingham at Columbus. Aviators 36, Stallions 29. So a bit of an upset, and we'll talk about the playoff implications in a little bit. Team leaders, we'll start with Columbus as they won. So Jalen Morton, now quarterback, 213 passing yards, 1 pick, 3 touchdowns. He also led the team in rushing with 13 attempts, 96 yards, and 1 TD. KK Chisholm led the team in receiving this game, 3 catches for 51 yards. For Birmingham, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 157 yards passing, 1 TD, but 2 picks. Snoop Connor led the team in rushing, 10 attempts for 58 yards. And Daywood Davis, 5 catches, 50 yards. The crowd at this one, 9,217 in Columbus. So Birmingham drops to 4-5. Columbus to 3-6. Columbus is not going to make the playoffs this year. Birmingham still could. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Next game, also with playoff implications in a reverse fashion. This is Dallas at Louisville. Kings 37, Renegades 23. And I can only hope that some of you know that I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith's work, by the way I say that number. Leading the Kings in those stats categories. Chandler Rogers, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ian Wheeler led the team in rushing, 13 attempts, 93 yards and a touchdown. And Tarek Black, I'm sorry, it's early. 4 catches, 82 yards, 1 touchdown for the Kings. For Dallas, Austin Reed, 101 yards passing, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Lorenzo Lingard leading the team in rushing, 16 attempts, 56 yards, 1 TD. And Curtis Hodges, 2 catches, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Attendance for this game, 10,378. So Louisville continuing to do very well in attendance. Kings are now 5-4. So welcome to winning team territory there, Louisville. And Dallas falls to 3-6 and are done for the playoffs. So they will not be participating. And then the last game, St. Louis at Houston. Time for some revenge. And oh yeah, we got our revenge. Battlehawks 21, Gamblers 15. Our league leaders will start with the Battlehawks. Luis Perez, 239 yards passing, 1 TD, 1 pick. Jarvion Howard, 14 rushes for 55 yards. And Stephen McBride led the Battlehawks in catches, 6 catches for 76 yards. For Houston, John Reese Plumlee, enunciate, 131 yards and 1 pick passing. Marcus Yarns led the team in rushing, 13 attempts, 98 yards. And Jalen Moreno Cropper, 4 catches, 103 yards. So Battlehawks improved to 6-3, and we did clinch that playoff spot finally. And Houston drops to 3-6, and they are done. Attendance for this game, 6,217. Which means final attendance So we get final attendance figures for a few teams with this one. So Louisville, this was their last home game. They averaged 11,195, which is good enough for second behind the Battlehawks, of course. Orlando finished at an average of 9,830. So having a winning team helps, clearly. And Houston are dead last in attendance this year, 5,683. So they're not quite Memphis Showboats of last year bad with attendance, but it's still pretty bad. So as the attendance goes, St. Louis, of course, number 1. Then Louisville, Columbus, Orlando, Birmingham, D.C., Dallas, Houston. That's the order. So the best week so far, and we got one more of these to go. Best week attendance-wise was week 1, where they all averaged 16,000, where the league average was 16,000. So far, week 5 was the worst, with a league-wide average of 7,500. And then, so maybe Rapoli was on to something when he did the halftime, when he introduced the idea of halftime concerts at the first games. Maybe they should do that every game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. Now we can talk playoffs. So, and the standings. So, the standings as of right now: Orlando 7-2, and they are in the playoffs. St. Louis 6-3, and they are in the playoffs. DC 5-4, playoffs. Louisville 5-4 have not made the playoffs just yet. So Birmingham 4-5, they are still able to get a playoff spot. Dallas, Houston, and Columbus are each 3-6 and have been eliminated from playoff competition. So Orlando, St. Louis, and DC are in the playoffs. There's one playoff spot left. It will be between Louisville and Birmingham. And let's look at that last week of the UFL regular season. And very well could come down to the final game. So Friday nights, I'm going to find a way to watch this game. It will be Dallas at St. Louis. And I hope we win this game because we got to get some revenge for Dallas tagging us with a loss earlier this year. So egg rolls revenge, but at least our playoff destiny is secure. So I'll call us all. On Saturday, we got one game, Houston at Birmingham. Stallions fans show up, shirtless or not. And, just because I know you guys can do great attendance and everything. This is the week to show it. All right. Birmingham can still make the playoffs, depending on what happens here. So show up, show out, and giddy up. All right. Orlando, DC. Once again, this one's in DC and from the Bear Snake, and this will be on Sunday. Both teams, we know both teams are going to make the playoffs. I think it'd be a little less embarrassing if DC were to win it. But Orlando has demonstrated they are a good team this year. Once again, Anthony Bax, our former head coach with St. Louis, proving that he can coach, at least in the regular season. So playoffs, different story. But I expect a good game there. And then the last game of the regular season is Louisville at Columbus. Remember back in mid-season, these were probably the two worst teams in the league. Well, here we are. Louisville able to clinch a playoff spot with a win here. And both teams have performed great attendance-wise. All right. Obviously, one has proven they can win better than the other one because they are on the cusp of getting that final playoff spot. So it will come down to the last game of the regular season. And who gets it? Will it be the Kings or will it be the Stallions? We shall see. And then playoffs will start the following week. And then we got the two playoff games, and then United Bowl 3, or the 2026 United Bowl, we should be calling it, with 50 Cent playing halftime at Audi Field. So that will do it for this edition of Unofficial Fan Lounge. Good luck to all of the teams this weekend, and who survives, Louisville or Birmingham. We shall see. Talk to y'all next week.